it's starting to get a little bit warmer, but it's still, I mean, like warm for us is relative. Like it's still 65 and sunny, but it's not like 75. Where
Yeah.
are you at?
I'm in Canada, so literally it's been like it's fluctuating. So like I would say for you guys use Fahrenheit and we use Celsius, so it's totally different.
Yeah, I mean, I could look it up right now. What Celsius are you at right now?
We're at -15.
Holy shit.
See, you guys think it's like the end of the world right there, but it's not.
Yeah, 59. I mean, like -15, so it's like 59 degrees. That's not that bad.
Okay, 60. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know a little bit of 60, 70, and then but yeah, that's like nothing.
But you're -15, right?
Yeah, we're -15.
Let's see, but the calculations only. Wait, you're at 5?
Yeah.
5
Okay, there we go. There we go. That makes sense. 5 makes sense.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, that makes no sense if you were trying to compare that. That's crazy though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like right now it's a weird fluctuate with our winter because literally it's been really warm. It's about this the most of the winter, and everyone's like, "Yo, that's amazing," because we get about. Oh, let me do a conversion rate for you. It's gone to what is it? Fahrenheit to Celsius. Ooh, I think it's been like. Ooh, it's been minus what is it? 49.
That's insane.
Yeah, so that's typical winter for us, but it has not gotten to that at all this winter, so it's been great.
What part of Canada are you in?
In Winnipeg, so it's like right above Minnesota.
Got it, for sure. Okay, so then I mean, like still, even though it's not super north, that's pretty north comparably.
Yeah. Have you been to
Southern California?
Have you been to Canada before?
Yeah, my uncle lives in Vancouver, actually.
Sick. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How often do you go to Vancouver?
Not super often. I've been gone in a long time, but my family's from Brooklyn, and then he opened a pizzeria actually out there. So I want to go, and it's really popular now, which is so funny. But because it's like you get a Brooklyn pizza slice out there, I feel like that's a pretty big deal for them. So
wait, what's his shop? I go to Vancouver quite often.
That's AJ's Pizzeria.
Wait, it's AJ's? Actually?
You know AJ?
Yeah, I know AJ's.
Yeah, he's my uncle.
Oh, sick. That's wild.
Wait, well, that's crazy. I'm gonna let him know. That's
well, I don't know him personally, but whenever I go to Vancouver, I'm like, oh, this place is always bumping. I'm like, okay, and then that's wild.
It's really popular now. He's trying to open one in LA that I think I might help him with, which is dope.
Cool.
That's crazy. That's an ultimate small world. Wow.
Yeah, small world. Cool.
Yeah, that's my uncle on my mom's side.
Cool. So what's the meaning behind Grandview? Like the name, the project, everything. Just
are we recording right now?
Yeah, I've been recording the whole time.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. That's so great. I love the organic, just right into it. Yeah. The meaning of the name. So there's like a couple different, like the easy one is like it's the elementary school that I went to when I was younger. I'm from Manhattan Beach, California. And I love where I grew up so much, and just I don't know the name. So the name that's the idea of the name. It's like that's where it came from. But to me, it sounds like someone that wants to be bigger than the box that society and their peers like boxes them into. So when someone listens or hears that name, to me it sounds very, no pun intended, grand and optimistic and hopeful. So that was kind of like when I used to go by Carter James, and I loved that in the beginning because that was rooted in who I was and my music so authentic. But at the same time, when I wanted to really transition and do this full time, I wanted something that I could project my emotions onto and become like a brand for people. So that's where it stems from.
Cool. Well, I guess it didn't pop off the name Carter James, I would assume, right? That's why you.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have a bunch of cool like stuff behind you. Like you have like different rappers, Dr. Dre.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So like my room, I live with 3 of my best friends. We live in Venice Beach, and like we somehow got like a place with like 2 stories, and like my upstairs room is like interesting. Like the wall, there isn't like a full wall. Like there's like the door that goes up halfway, and then like you can see into it as you walk up to like the 3rd story. So I had to put a curtain up there, but like the wall just goes up really high because it's open. So I had a bunch of art, so I decided just to stack it, and you can kind of see it goes all the way up. Yeah, so
neat.
It's interesting.
Dude, Los Angeles houses have a cool architecture. They have high ceilings. I don't know why. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
get it.
I think you naturally go up when, like, you don't have a lot of space to go out because, everyone living on top of each other.
That,
So, but we got super lucky. I'm in a really unique, area with my friends. We found the spot, it's right on the beach. So, we're super lucky, and, yeah, I don't wanna leave this spot for a while.
nice. Is rent expensive in, I would assume, at Venice Beach because it's on the
Yeah,
beach?
I think it's like, in LA, like LA, San Francisco, New
Yeah.
York, those are places where people wanna be, so it's gonna be
Mhm.
more expensive, but I actually, we found a really great deal on our place, so, I'm really content with it right now.
Nice. Dope.
Yeah.
Is all your roommates like musicians or creator? Like what do they do as well?
No, not at all. My roommate Davis is into crypto and he's more of an entrepreneur. My roommate Abu is in finance. My other roommate JT is in commercial real estate. So I'm the only person that's in a non-traditional kind of sector area.
How did that came to be that you're like, hey, let's all become roommates, become friends? Like, how did the first interaction with all of them?
Yeah. So first, their parents were like, "Hey, we'll pay you to be friends with them." And I'm joking. Davis and Abu have been my best friends since I was 14. We went to high school together. I went to Bristol Mar in El Segundo, California, small private school. And then JT is actually Abu's cousin, and we all moved back to I stayed in LA during my college. I went to LA film school, so I stayed in
Nice.
LA. They've all gone to amazing schools. They went to Berkeley and Bucknell, and they came back to LA, and of course we stayed in touch because they're my best friends, and we all just wanted to live together. And it's been about a year and a half of living in Venice on the beach.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah.
Nice. Because you were from San Francisco or not what's
No,
Sacramento?
no, 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 no. So I'm from I was born in New York.
Okay.
Born in New York, but I moved to Manhattan Beach, California when I was 5. So I've lived in LA, I think majority of it, but like my family's super rooted in New York as we were talking about.
Do you miss New York a lot or no?
My parents still actually have a house on Long Island, so I see them sometimes. Like I get to go to New York. All my sisters live there, so I have 4 stepsisters. 3 of them live. I have 3 stepsisters, 4 sisters total. 3 of my sisters, they live. I consider them all my sisters. I've known them forever. 3 of my sisters live in the East Coast, and 1 lives out here, so I'm always over there, right now.
Wait, are you the only guy in the family?
Yeah, I am in like that
Oh.
side. My family's like divorced parents, so then like I also have like my dad's side of the family.
Mhm.
I have a stepbrother that I consider my brother over there as well. So I have a lot of like a Brady Bunch kind
Okay.
of mix.
At least you
Yeah.
have one brother to keep you on toes and everything, because then it's just all girls. Then it's just like, unless you very much
Yeah.
like your stepsisters and everything. But
I
that's
love I mean,
yeah.
like, yeah, they're I just consider them my sisters at this point.
Okay, that's
They're incredible. I love them. I've known them since, my parents got divorced when I was, like, 3. So, like,
wow.
they've been and then my parents my mom, my
Mhm.
stepfather, John, who's, like, my best friend as
Mhm.
well, I'm really close with him. Like, I've known them since I was, like, 3 or 4. So they're
Yeah.
truly my siblings.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
getting into music now, actually.
Yeah, no, you're
So
good. Yeah, I love the
we
conversation.
love that.
Yeah,
That's
how many siblings do you have? Do you have
I
any
have
siblings?
only one sister, so she's an older sister. She's about 4 years difference with me, but yeah, she moved out and everything. So yeah, it's just myself and everything.
Does she
So
stay in Winnipeg?
she's still in Winnipeg. She has a husband and everything, got a big house and everything. So yeah, she's living
Love
life
that.
basically, man. So yeah, and then there's me
I
that's
love
like still single here, helping out with the grandma because she has dementia and everything. So helping that out.
Oh, wow, that's
And yeah, so we're doing this. We do radio as well, the odd time here and there, and I do photography as well on the side. So I help out with touring acts, go do contract stuff out in LA, Toronto, Vancouver. I've gone all over in North America, my dude. So
I love that. Well, it's super kind that, like, I love to hear that you're helping with your grandma, so that's amazing.
yeah, it's cool. It's pretty fun. And yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So you dropped a mixtape in February. Time is on our side. How long did it take to make, man?
Um, about like a year, I would say. I started writing it in January of last year, and I dropped it. Yeah, like pretty much like a year. Like the
Mhm.
writing part, I wrote it in different sections. Like I wrote some of the songs in the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
and then I had like a big burst of creativity where I wrote like 7 in like the span of like 2 months,
Wow.
um, and rounded it out. But yeah, no, it's awesome just to have like a full body of work that like I'm super proud of
Nice.
completely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are you working on any more new projects in the sorts right now, or?
Yeah, yeah, no, I started so I'm doing like a mixtape series. Like I love doing, I don't know, I love doing trilogies. I feel like it's easy for fans to follow, and like as like an artist, you're kind of able to like ground yourself in eras, so like
Yeah.
you can be consistent. So like for this one, the first mixtape is "Time Is on Our Side." The next one's gonna be "Better with Time" that I'm working on right now,
Ooh,
and then the final one's gonna be all the time in the world, and then I'll move on to the next thing. So
dang. So
I'm
you
about I'm about four. I'm starting the fifth record this week on it. So
you just have it all planned out, my dude.
but it's never you. Yeah, like I love to plan it out
Yeah.
because God, laughs when we make plans. Like it's
Yeah.
just because like there's so much variation and just like fluidity with everyone's schedules and like what life really
True.
has. So I'm never able to stay on schedule, but I really want to release Better with Time by the end of the year because I think it's important to like strike while the iron's kind of hot.
Yeah, that's fair because
Yeah,
yeah, that's the thing about social media and releasing music. You have to be on top and everything. That's the thing, and that's what I've talked to many with artists. And it's just like I feel like a lot of them are just getting not stressed out, but over like what's the word? Just
overwhelmed.
overworked, burned out, and everything. And that's the
Yeah,
thing.
100%. I think it's like, it's definitely the balance of being like a creator and an artist. And like, you do have to feed the algorithm, like whether it's
Mhm.
Spotify or Instagram or TikTok, consistency is the biggest thing. So like, I was even thinking about this like today, like what I'm doing right now is like, I've decided, and this probably doesn't work for everyone because I work like, this is how I work is like,
Mhm.
I choose all the beats that I want for the project before I even start writing it. I just figure out what the sound's going to
Nice.
be. And then I've decided like, all right, I want these 5 to 6 songs to potentially be singles. So I'm gonna write these 5 to 6 first, record them hopefully in like a month, and then
Mhm.
get them out, and then I can start releasing them once a month. But they're
Nice.
all done. Like that's how you kind of keep it consistent.
Yeah.
And then you take some of the pressure off of doing it one at a time. Like try and do it all together if you can. I work like that because I like to get into pockets
That's
of writing and recording.
nice. Cool. I
Yeah.
like that because I feel like a lot of people just don't do it and it's just literally they just finish one and then that's when they drop it. Okay, let's actually work on the next one and then they drop it. So I feel like that's the better way to do it is like get a full entire batch and then do weekly or do every single
Yeah.
month kind of thing, right?
It's the
Because
same thing with content.
yeah.
You probably like when you're filming TikTok or YouTube content, like you don't try and do it one day at a time. You try and
Mhm.
bunch up the filming so then you
Yeah.
can spend the rest of your time doing stuff.
Yeah. That's exactly how it's like as a content creator. You gotta do a batch kind of thing. Yeah.
You do
Cool.
have to, yeah.
After listening to mixtape, you have so much different influences for this man. Like I listened to it. I'm like, he has so many different references of different artists, influences, like different genres that I'm like, who? Okay, what was the influences for this last mixtape that you did?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's like you find different you're right. Like you find
Mhm.
different pieces of artists in it. Like for production wise, like,
Mhm.
a lot of Flume, Porter Robinson, Kanye, Brockhampton. Like those,
Yeah.
like to me, those sounds are like the sounds that interest me right now.
Mm,
And then with regards to like lyrics, it's like Kendrick and Lupe Fiasco and
yeah.
Logic, and I see that within it. But I don't know. I just like really am interested in creating sounds that I think are really not like electronic fully, but like they're just different and they're bright and they're interesting and they sound different than everything else. And it's not on purpose. It's just like when I'm listening, like I listen to 150 beats before I like one. Truthfully,
Oh wow.
I'm that picky. I'm that picky.
Okay.
Like I listen to so many, and then I then like I don't know, just like the sounds kind of just fall into place, and I want to keep the lyricism and flow of the '90s
Yeah.
with the experimentation and kind of like, because I don't make experimental music, but just like interesting sounds.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What's
Yeah.
your favorite track off the record? Or-
Um, so tough.
yeah.
Uh, you know, no, it's like you like them for different reasons. Like
Yeah.
I love Deja Vu because it's so tightly written, and like
Mhm.
to me, it's like it's so much what I want to stand for, which is like telling a relatable story, but also like making it the chorus interesting and like sound good and melodies. But then there's also like Superpowers, which I love because like that has two of my favorite rappers on there. And then there's like,
Mm.
yeah, and like Sincerely You from 2023. The outro is just like so personal, and the production is so progressive. So I would say like those three probably
Alright,
stick with me the most.
cool. I
Yeah.
think my favorite is the title track. I'm like, this starts it off, and I'm like, yo, this sounds cool, and it's
Yeah.
perfect for the intro, and I love it. And just I was repeating this like the last couple days. I'm like, dude, this is such a good song. So
Thank you, man.
yeah, cool.
Appreciate it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
What? Okay. How's the feedback from fans from this though? Like, what have they been
Yeah,
saying? What have they've been telling you and everything?
it's it's been really great. I mean, like, every single person that, like, listens to it,
Mhm,
I'm like, getting messages that I've always wanted, and, like, the fans,
mhm,
it's a very, like, small, but, like, it's
mhm.
such an engaged community that I have on TikTok. Like, I'm, like, really blessed just
Nice.
to, like, how much they care. But, yeah, no, it's been incredible, I think top to bottom, and, I'm having just different curators, like, randomly put it on their playlists and, like, make videos about it, and fans are making videos about it, like, just
Mhm.
on their own, and, like, I think it's great, and, like, what I've, like, told my team is, like, I think this is a really great, and I think it's, like, actually kind of amazing. I think it's a super solid project, but I think the way to, like, really blow up is to, like, you have to deliver, like, 2 to 3 in a row.
Oh yeah.
'Cause, like, the second one is like, oh, like, it wasn't a fluke. The third one is like fucking whether it's like Graduation or Damn or Forest Hills Drive or Nothing Was the Same or like, all these different records for my favorite artists. Like, the third one to me is always really important,
Hmm.
but obviously I'm gonna focus on the second one. But, like, I think it takes a couple of amazing projects, but I think this was the first. I think I hit it out of the park on this one.
Nice. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I hope you actually get to. Have you toured before, or are you planning to tour?
Yeah, when I was, like, in 2021, I was able to do a
Mhm.
bunch of shows with Swayze. Do you remember him? He, like, did, Corona and Lime,
Oh yeah.
Buzzin'. He was a really incredible artist, and he
Mhm.
was so nice. I did, like, 12 shows with him,
Sick.
across the United States from, um it's crazy, I did Chicago, Pittsburgh, New York, Boston, Hawaii, Orlando. Did just, like, a bunch of different shows with
Nice.
that, so and I've done, like, Denver. I did Denver last year, I did New York, and I did Florida. But I think this year, hopefully by the end of the year, and I'm doing Sacramento April 26th, which is
Yeah.
awesome. But hopefully at the end of this year, I could, or like in the summer, end of summer, I could really start hitting some like fan centric, like my
Mm.
shows. Yeah, some
Sick.
hope.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I was gonna actually ask you about the April 26th show. Like, what's going on with that show and everything? Like, what's happening with
Yeah,
that show?
so shout out Sean Healy Presents. We built a relationship with that company. They had this artist named Echo. He was
Mhm.
performing in Los Angeles. We were able to get onto that show. Sadly, some stuff happened logistically that it couldn't happen, but we maintained a relationship, and we kind of just like we kind of see what shows they have to offer.
Hmm.
It lines up with our schedule. We're like, hey man, can we potentially like get onto this one?
Nice.
This one lined up with all the different moving parts, and
Hmm.
yeah, really excited. My DJ, shout out my DJ and producer Ionius. He's one of my best friends as well. He's from Sacramento.
Oh, sick.
So this is gonna be like a really dope kind of hometown show for him and for us. So
Mm,
I'm excited for that. With Devin
dope.
the dude, shout out Devin.
Nice. Are you gonna? Do you plan to do any festivals you hope for this year, or
Yeah,
just
I mean,
keep
like
it?
I would love to,
Yeah.
but not like officially. There's
Mhm.
one, so there's this one in my hometown of Manhattan Beach called Beach Life. And
Okay.
hopefully I get on next year, but it's definitely not a hip hop oriented show. But I think
Yeah.
I can still get onto it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I'm working with a pretty fantastic team. Shout out Jackie, my manager Greg, Andrew, and just like all the different moving parts. So hopefully we get one thing, which would be sick.
That'd be huge. That'd be really huge for you. I always love festivals because it's honestly the best place for an artist to get seen and also get shown. I feel like because there's so many artists, there's so many fans, and it's just a great atmosphere. Honestly, I love
Yeah.
festivals. It's cool.
Yeah, I think it's which yeah, I agree. I think it's just like you get it's also like you're in the environment to like absorb new music, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like you're having such a good time. Which festivals have you gone to?
There's so many, man. Like it's mainly Canada festivals, and like there's a couple that I've shot for in North Dakota, but nothing like states wise that I really want to do. Like there's a couple like in like Texas, and then there's a couple in Florida that I know, but like yeah. So there's Dolphin Country Fest I've done. There's a Rock the Rails in North Dakota.
Alright.
Rock in the Fields, Minidos. It's a lot more rock based stuff that I've done a lot of. There's a couple. I've been getting a lot more country the last year or two, but
Mhm.
there's a few. There's a one festival that we have that's coming up here in the city that's like a hip hop one, and it's called what's it? It was just announced. It had Mike, not Mike Jones. It was Camila who did Riding Dirty. That song
Mhm.
Riding Dirty. There's a couple other big like it's a more like older hip hop artists that are actually
Yeah.
playing at it. So it's called Taco and Tequilas. It's like a thing in the States too. So yeah, that's happening here that I'm very excited about to get to check out some more hip hop artists and that.
Who's been some of, like, your favorite people that you've seen? Like, the
Oh,
festivals you've gone to?
festivals. Ooh. Well, I feel like my favorite show for hip hop wise was G-Eazy, and I got to go out for that last year in Los Angeles. Love
Nice.
love the guy. As
Oh,
for
you're a big Jeezy fan?
dude, I'm a huge G-Eazy fan.
Really? I
It's
love that.
yeah.
What I like, his one album, what the one I really When It's Dark Out,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was a really good one, I feel like, I haven't listened to a lot of him, but I like that album a lot.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite from him as well. And then what is it? The one that he has the white shirt one.
The
That one.
Beautiful and Damned?
Yeah, that one.
No? Okay, I think that one's just like he's kinda bloodied up, or do you mean like the older one when,
Older
like, he
one.
got yeah, I forgot what that one These Things Happen, I
Yeah,
think.
these things happen.
It's so trippy, I don't even
Yeah.
I remember that though.
Remember
I
off
was
the
a big
top of my
hitter.
head. But yeah.
Yeah,
No.
so sorry, go on. What were you saying, with some of the people you've seen?
Yeah, so festivals wise, there's not much we don't get much for Canada wise in my part for like hip hop or that. It's mainly rock and country. And that's the thing that we're starting to get more into now, which is nice, is more of the pop, hip hop, R&B kind of stuff now. And it's been taking a while for that. Like we just got Ice Cube here, like what is it? February? We got February Ice Cube. We've gone Tech 9 came here like multiple times and everything. So we're getting a lot more of the old school hip hop rap artists here now, which is nice. So
That is dope. Are you big I mean, like, I feel like country is really, like, taking over. I mean, you even see Beyoncé making records
yeah,
like that, which is like she did house a couple years ago, now she's doing
true,
country. It's pretty crazy.
right?
Like, I feel like it's, like, really, like, exploding, and, Nashville's only getting bigger
Yeah.
of just, like, a hub and stuff.
We're basically kind of like a mini Nashville in a sense because we have concerts and shows every single weekend here. It's insane.
Nice.
It's like
I mean, you guys are close to the States.
yeah, we're very close to well, I guess, but also you can't really go to like if I were to go to the States, if I wanted to go to Minneapolis, it'd be an 8-hour drive. So that's like a decent drive.
What about there's gotta be an airport there.
Yeah, there's an airport, and then it's like a significant amount of money to go to
Yeah, yeah,
Minneapolis. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
but yeah, have you thought about doing more country stuff or something like genre
Yeah.
bending or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, like, maybe not a country, but, like, definitely stepping into, like, the realm of electronic is, like, I kinda, like, wanna go. I think that, like, the
Mhm.
explosion of house music is so interesting to me,
Yeah.
whether it's, like, Fred Again, Barry Can't Swim, and, like, just, like, I don't know. I'm not, like, the most into it, and I'm probably saying very generic names to people that I love house music, so I'm sorry. But, like, those artists to me are, like, so interesting, and, like, I think that 'cause, like, it's so emotional, and, like, that's why I like
Yeah.
Flume or Robinson. I don't know, do you know electronic music? Were you ever into it?
Yeah, well, a little bit. Like we have a little bit of electronic scene or like EDM-ish scene here, but I'm not like I'm gonna go on my way and be like, let's listen to electronic today though. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well, and I feel you on that because it's definitely, like, an acquired taste, I would
yeah,
say,
that's
and, like,
true.
it's because it's such a departure than from normal,
Yeah.
just singer-songwriter, but
Mhm.
there's these artists like Flume and Porter Robinson and, like, people like Just a Gent, and, even I'm trying to think of, like, some other ones, like, Odeza's really good at it,
Hmm,
where, like, it's so emotional to me and it's so pretty. It feels like it's almost like an orchestra.
okay.
Like, the way that they're, like, arranging and producing these sounds, and, like, I think this new wave of, like, emotional house music, which I love, I don't know if it's
Mhm.
everyone loves, I would love to, like like, Fred Again's an artist that I would love to, like, have produce some stuff for me. Like, I would
Nice.
love that. He just did a record with Baby Keem, which was amazing.
Ooh,
So,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot on my TikTok lately on my For You page. Like, oh, let's bring back emotional house music and ED. I'm like, wait, what? What's going on here now?
Yeah, when did it even happen? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it is. It's like, there's such, like, because I think a lot of people think of, like, electronic music, and they think of, like, the wubs of dubstep and just, like, the Plur festival life when, like, there's just so many my DJ
Mhm.
is traditionally an electronic, like, he's a house music
Right.
guy. So I
Gotcha.
learned a lot of stuff from him and then my other producer, Boss Boss.
Nice. Sick.
Yeah.
Are you into TikTok at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Well, of
the
course
way
you're in TikTok, but like,
yeah, well, no, I mean, like, right now, it's the platform I use the most for, like, promote myself. I've
mhm,
been able to, like, really find a niche that's, like, slowly working on there.
nice.
So it's growing. I wouldn't say it's, like, explosive growth, but I'm at, like, almost 18,000 followers on there,
Oh,
which is nice.
nice.
And yeah, so it's just I use it a lot. And I'm like really involved with it, even though it's definitely like doom scrolling brain suck
Yeah, I was gonna
for like a
ask,
lot.
do you doom scroll and everything on it at all?
Not like I mean, I'm more of a YouTube person, like for like my own media
Okay.
consumption. So I'm mostly on YouTube, but I'll be on YouTube like before bed. I'm like usually on YouTube. Like I don't, I love TV and I love movies, but I usually watch those in like more like um honestly more social settings. Like I'll watch a
Hmm.
movie, but I'm just by myself. I'll be like watching. I'm like on TikTok. I'm on YouTube primarily. What about
Yeah.
you?
It was weird. Like when I first was growing up and everything, yeah, of course, YouTube and everything, and even going to bed, YouTube. But now I've come to the conclusion, I hate it, that I am basically now TikTok before going to bed. But the funny part
Yeah,
about TikTok for going to bed, they give me TV shows.
yeah, yeah. You see like 10 parts of like Suits on there or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Suits. It's mainly like all the kids shows, like all the Nickelodeon shows. I basically get that all right now on my TikTok. It's just Victorious, Drake and Josh, Sponge. It's mainly a lot of SpongeBob. I get a lot of, so it's literally I'm just watching re SpongeBob. I'm like cool.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's definitely also like right now, it's so topical with what's going on. Have you seen The Quiet on Set?
Yeah, I've seen quite on set. It's
Yeah,
something, man.
it's very well done, but it's very tragic and like it's tough because like it kind of taints the viewing pleasure of like me watching like like a Drake and Josh or
Mhm.
Amanda show. But then they're great shows. Like don't get
Yeah,
me wrong, I
I
love
know,
them
right?
so much. But
But I think a lot of people are wondering, like, did that happen to Disney? But I'm like, it probably did because that was the era, right?
yeah, I think it's like I think like a lot of stuff's gonna come out. Like if you think about like with any movement, whether it's like Me Too, like there's got to be a first whistleblower, and then other people feel empowered and safe enough to like express or like share their experience of it. But I would imagine, and I hope not, because I hope it doesn't happen because I hope it didn't happen to them. But
Yeah.
if it did happen to them, I do hope they speak up. But
Mhm.
there most likely will be some stuff from other networks, Cartoon Network and stuff like that as well.
I didn't think of Cartoon Network. Oh no, man, we're getting
Yeah, well,
too
like they're
close.
animated, but still, there's some other like I don't know how voice acting is as Ruth is like as training and
Ruthless. Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, because I mean like I saw this video after the Quiet on the Set thing where it was like Miley Cyrus was reading that like her like call sheet was saying that she had to be on set at like 5:30 in the morning. Like their working hours was insane. Like it it's not I can't even imagine that at such a young age.
5:30 a.m. That's like that's why would you do that to a kid at
It's
that
like it's like
age?
that's like it's like your first day at like a
Yeah.
stock at like a stock trading company, and
Mhm.
like you're like the fucking like like the worst, like you're like the lowest level, and they make you go in at 5:30 to like answer calls. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, did you work some of those back in the day kind of things? 5:30 shifts. Ever?
Um, nothing like that early. One time I was working for this boss who was horrible, just like
Mhm.
not the best human being, and was just like very toxic, and would like message me at like 11:30 p.m. and be like, "I need this done by like 1. Like you can't go to bed." So I'd have to do it till like 1 p.m.
That's stupid. That's dumb.
Yeah, it was just well, there's just like no boundaries, and like it was because like he's miserable, he wants me to be miserable. It's a chain of dissatisfaction and anger, and like
Mhm.
it was in the recruiting space, and I feel like that's a pretty gnarly space. So
Mhm. Well,
yeah. What about you?
I'm trying to think what was a bad thing. I worked a lot in retail when I was like getting out of high school, so it was a lot of like those early 5 a.m. shifts. And
Yeah,
even then, like I work in radio too now, so literally it's even earlier now, so even 4 a.m. So
damn.
4 a.m. and then
That's something you're passionate about.
well, yeah, I'm passionate about radio at least, and radio interviews and everything. That's the main thing I'm more passionate about. But if I worked at 5 a.m. with retail and then you have to deal with customers at 6 a.m., you just don't want to deal with that, man. It's not
Mhm.
fun. It's never is.
Yeah, this may be generic, but like Nardwar is obviously Canadian, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is he
He's
like a big inspiration for you at all?
no, actually. What the funny part about this thing, like the podcast kind of thing for me was I've always wanted to interview artists and musicians and everything, but the main people I've saw for interviews is two people. It's Ben Burley from Breaking Benjamin, but also Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish is one that I'm always fascinated on with her interviews and stuff that she always answers because it's always something different.
Mm.
So that's one thing I always love getting to know about. Also, I've done re-interviews with people, and it's always one thing I always like is if they change it up, and or they it's just we're casual talking like this. That's one thing I absolutely love that most people don't do for interviews or podcasts in general. They don't. They just go question, question, question. No, I try to mix it up, do odd conversation here and there, and that's one thing I feel like is comfortable for a lot of people, and that's what they love about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like the whole model the reason why, like, the podcast model works so well is that,
Hmm.
like, you wish that you were in a room with Rick Rubin and
Yeah.
Andre 3000, so I'll listen to a podcast of them just talking.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you never know what you'll get out of it because it's like, oh, they'll go off on a weird tangent or this little story here and there, and it happens, right?
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, you're going when you did mention that you were from California and your family is in the pizza business and everything. So, what is your favorite place that you like to get in California and your coffee shop if you have a coffee
My
shop?
favorite pizza place? I mean, like, it's so funny, like, LA is, like, not the best pizza
Yeah.
capital of the world. I found this one place there's 2, so, like, there's one, like, I have a hometown one called, um, Beach Pizza.
Okay.
It's a hilarious name, from Manhattan Beach, Beach Pizza. It's like, it's not a traditional New York slice, and I get that, but it's really great, and it's so nostalgic for me that, like, I love it, and I will even order it sometimes because they have one that's close to Venice. They have one in, Westchester, that's not that far.
Okay.
But there's this good place called Prime Pizza in
Ooh.
LA, and it's kind of a chain, but it's really, really good, and it's like a New York style, pretty close in my
Okay.
opinion, and I love that. So Prime Pizza and Beach Pizza, and then
Mhm.
coffee-wise,
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest coffee drinker.
You're the second I asked Raleigh this like 2 weeks ago, and he's like, I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm like, what is with you people in LA? You're not coffee drinkers?
Dude, shout out Raleigh, he's the homie, great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, there's a place right next to me called Cow's End. Shout out Cow's End, they're
Mhm.
amazing. Love them just like as like people. I love Blue Bottle, but that's like super generic. It's like on
Yeah.
Abbot Kinney. So like it's like an LA spot. Blue Bottle, which is like it's like really good. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything like I'd say Cow's End is like the local place that I'll give a shout out to. It's right on Washington and Venice. So yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Cool. 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 What do you use AI in your music at all or not?
No, I don't.
No.
I used AI to generate. So the way that I did my single cover is Time Is on Our Side. So if you like look
Mhm.
on Spotify, each song, the single is a watch, and like the face of a watch symbolizes the
Okay.
song. So to generate that art, I used AI to generate that art. So I was
Ah.
able to use that as kind of like the canvas, and then like I would input it and use AI to illustrate what the song is about. So that's the only way I've like used AI, but I think it's like I mean, it's going to completely alter the way that like we consume and
Mhm.
create content and music.
Are you scared about AI?
No, because like I'm an early adopter and
Okay.
I'll use it to my advantage. But like I think that there I mean, I read this like recently that like almost like I think like the next like 5 to 10 years, like 90% of the content that we see on the internet's gonna be AI generated, which means like the UGC, like user generated content is gonna be, it's just I don't know. Like to me, it's like I've thought about this with my friends really quick. I mean, this
Yeah.
is me just giving you my this is what I think about
Yeah.
on my free. So like well, back in the day with TV, like TV was I know, trust me, you'll follow what I mean. But like in TV back in the day, like we all wanted media consumption, but you kind of beholden to like what the networks would put on.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Then more channels are created. Originally, it was like 3 channels, and it was 4 channels, and it was more niche based. And then
Okay.
eventually, you have YouTube, and then
Mhm.
YouTube is user-generated content, and it's so niche based that I can look up like, whatever you wanna fucking watch, you can find on YouTube. You can find whatever you want. I can watch Kobe Bryant on March 23rd versus like, the Raptors or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I can find that. I can find someone breaking down Kendrick's album, Good Kid, Mad City. Like, so like now it's like what you're seeing is that it's becoming more and more user focused.
Mhm.
I think eventually, which is kind of scary, is like the user generated content is going to be gone, and I can literally just open up a website and type in whatever I want to watch, and AI will generate it for me perfectly. That's what I'm scared of, because then like users won't be able to generate the content. It's just going to be AI. That's what I think is the next iteration.
Yeah. Yeah. That's scary. That I
It
didn't
is.
realize about that side of things for AI. Now you're making me be like, oh geez, now we're screwed, man.
I feel bad. I don't feel bad, but it's like also because you think about it, the reason why TikTok is so big. I always thought that TikTok was doing something wrong by not making this their marketing pitch.
Yeah.
Like they're always like, make your day on here, or like it starts here. Like, no, we don't care about trends or anything like that. The reason why you're on TikTok is because their algorithm figures you out in 2 seconds and feeds you exactly what you want. So like the algorithm is doing that on there with user generated content. Eventually, the content's going to be better with the AI, sadly, and it's going to be feeding it to you even more what you like. So like, yeah.
Dude, it's gonna get as bad as Instagram, where literally you get to see dead bodies for the Instagram reels.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, Twitter and Instagram are like so fucked up. I think like their algorithms are so bad right now. It's crazy. I
It's
can't.
bad.
I use Twitter and TikTok, but like even with Twitter, it's like I don't know, man. Instagram's just so. It's just the platform was created to follow people that you want to follow,
Yeah.
and now they're trying to make it into a discovery platform, and it's just not that. So their algorithm's fucking up. So now no one's seeing their friends, and they're also not seeing what they want.
Hmm.
It's like fuck that.
Yeah, it's weird. I barely use Twitter now. I go on it maybe like a couple times a day. Barely go on it. Instagram, I have to go on to it because I'm a photographer and everything, so I post on there.
Yeah.
But also, the feed just barely gets shown for me from people and everything, so it just sucks it in general. And then
Mhm.
TikTok, I don't get seen ever because literally I get 200 maybe 300 plus views and TikTok never shows me. So literally all the social medias just suck, man. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, like TikTok is so hard. Like it's amazing in the fact that like if you use trending sounds and like you use hooks that are like gonna get people into it, like it can work. But like I don't know. Like to me, it's like the only thing like the way that like I found success, which I would recommend to you, is like you have to build a community. And the way to build a community is like like I respond to every single person. I DM every single person that follows me first off.
Oh
I
jeez.
DM them directly. Yeah, I DM them directly, and then I also respond to every single content, every single comment. Like I have a rule in my head. My rule is that I respond to every single comment. I always send a DM, and in my DMs, I will never not respond. I respond until they stop.
Oh wow. You're going
Yeah,
all
because
in.
they want to feel heard. They want to feel seen
Yeah.
because like no one's feeling that right now, and like
See?
everyone's making music and content right now, so no one gives a shit
Yeah.
about the music or content. You have to make them care about you.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's my 2 cents with that.
No, that's the no. I totally agree because a lot of people don't care about like what are people hearing about these days, and it's just like you hear all this negative stuff, and it's good to have someone be caring about. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun, and, like, it's also it's like you don't I don't know, like, when I don't know, when I was younger, like, the reason why, like, so many artists and, like, so many content creators that we loved were, like it was cool when it was first starting because, like, let's say, like, Logic's on Twitter or YouTube or, like or a YouTuber that you loved back in the day, like, you're getting to see their daily life every single day. You're able to, like, figure out who they are, what they like, and sometimes you can comment and they can reach through the computer and or your phone and actually respond to you, and that's validating. So it's like, why not like continue with that and like give people
Yeah.
today that chance?
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. And then there's a point where there's a fine line of people are like, oh, this is too much, where it gets too parasocial, and then it gets this weird spiral that people freak out about on social media and everything.
Yeah, I mean, like you just have to like be, I don't know, like I just separate work and personal. Like I
Oh yeah.
wouldn't post my personal stuff online,
Yeah.
but like work stuff, I would like. I know what you mean. There's definitely like a great boundary that needs to be created,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
or else like the trolls will come with pitchforks and break
Pitchforks,
you
and
down.
then you get canceled, and then there's a whole entire thing.
Cancels. Yeah, it's crazy. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, are you scared that TikTok's gonna get banned or no?
Um, like I guess like internally, like yeah, there is the fear that like shit, something that like is actively helping my career could get canceled. But like I don't know, I think there's way too much money for the government to like. I think the government might try to buy it. Like
Maybe.
truthfully, I think there's way too much money through advertisers, through like like the economy. Like there's so many creators on there that like literally, you know, like I don't think they're just gonna like end it completely because it generates so much money. But I think if they can't get it for the right price, then, like, they might. But also, as we all know, like, bureaucratic shit is so slow. And, yeah, like, the law was created, but now it has to go through, like, the Senate, and then it has to, like, there's so many different hoops. So, like, even if it does happen, it wouldn't be for a while, but it could.
Yeah, maybe.
I
I
don't
don't know. I don't. We'll see. I know Canada always falls through if the U.S. does something, so I know at one point we will get the same thing happen, and then it's just like, damn. So, yeah, who knows?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like, and like it's the big argument, which is like very gnarly, which is the truth, is like the difference in content that's being shown to like us than like people in China, like their kids are only being fed educational stuff, and like we're being fed nothing, something with no filter. So
Yeah,
it's like they actively know that something is like there's a disproportionate amount of like regulations on one side. So it's like what's really going on?
we'll see. We'll see what happens. Really, I know they
What
what
do you
I've been
think?
seeing for videos, they claim that if TikTok gets banned, they're just gonna have it banned. They're not gonna let people buy it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, they just take it off the app store.
Yeah, just
You can do it with because you can do it right now. They do it with like, it'll
mhm,
be like geolocation based. Like they do it with
mhm,
sports gambling in the US. Like
mhm.
you can't use DraftKings Sportsbook in some parts of the state. So,
Mm,
they'll be able to regulate it, but
oh, that could happen. That
I
could
don't
happen.
know.
What song do you feel most personal to you?
Um, Probably Sincerity You from 2023 or like Less
Mm,
Than You. Less Than You is about like my personal like struggles that hopefully other people relate to with like addiction.
yeah.
And then Sincerely to You. So I end every single one of my projects right now with just the same titles, like Sincerely to You from 2022, 2023. The next one's be 2024.
Hmm,
And it's kind of just like a wrap up of everything that happened that year. But
hmm,
and the 2023 one is like it's heavy. I had a
hmm,
lot of interesting things happen. So
hmm. Well, at least you're. That's the thing that I love about with musicians, that they use music to express themselves and share their stories, and that's one thing I absolutely love. So I'm glad that you're doing that.
yeah, I think vulnerability like
Cool.
is not easy, but it breeds the best art. So.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. What kind of things do you do when you're not working on music? Hobbies, everything, stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I watch a lot of sports. I'm a big sports guy. I love
Mm,
football, love basketball. I play soccer as well.
mm,
Play golf,
ooh,
trying to think, hang out with my friends. I'm really close with my friends and my girlfriend, like, we all kind of hang out a good amount of time. Love trying, like, new restaurants. I love food. I
okay.
love to cook. I
What's
love to cook as
what's
well. I love
your
to
most recent thing that you cooked? That's new.
cook. I made this, like, it's like it's stuff I made. It's like I followed a recipe, but it was like this incredible like lemon chicken marinade, like with like chicken thighs, and like it's just so good. I'm making it tonight for meal prep for the week. I'm making it again. It was that good. YouTube recipe I found is it's the easiest thing ever. Like literally, you just make the marinade, you let it sit for 2 hours, and then like you put it in the oven for like 40 minutes on 400, and it's like cooked perfectly.
Damn. Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
You like to cook?
I like to cook when I can, and then I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We
Well, it's a commitment. To me, it's like a big therapeutic, like de-stress thing.
honestly, I feel like yeah, it's weird when I just go through a recipe and then it just yeah, it gets me out of the zone of everything, and it's so weird
It's
about
so
that. And I'm like, why
Mhm.
does this do this? And I'm just like, I'm just in the zone, making having a good time, just making following these. And I'm like, yeah, let's go with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's like it's because you're so singularly focused on something
yeah.
that, like, you're really kinda like what you're saying, like, you block out other stuff, but then, like, you also it feels nice to, like, complete something. When you complete a recipe,
Yeah.
there's a sense of pride with it, I think.
And then you know that it tastes good, and you're like, wow, I followed these
Yeah, and then
directions
then
to
then when
the
it doesn't
T.
and then sometimes, like, I always add too much salt to shit, I'm like, "Fuck,
Right?
can't believe I do all
Dude,
that."
too
Yeah,
much
I
paprika, too much. I'm like, damn,
yeah, yeah,
can't deal with that.
but I
Can't
love
deal.
to cook. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool. Do you think artists should be independent or go to labels?
Um,
Mm,
I think it depends on what type of career you want.
yeah,
I think depends on your situation as well.
yeah.
Like, if you're I don't know, I personally lean more towards independent, just because like nowadays, like because of social media, like back in the day, besides like artist development and like literally putting them in the studio, like the the label offers so many connections through publications and streaming and interviews and any type of like that or festivals. They just have all these relationships with these venues that like it does open up a lot of doors. But now because of social media, especially because of TikTok, I think you're able to one get direct feedback on your work, so artists are actually able to get better through just like the comments and stuff. And also, I think that like artists are able to create their own fan base. So like
Oh yeah.
to me, it's like why not create your own fan base on TikTok, and then like if a label does call, like you have leverage. You're like, okay, well I have X amount of fans. Like, what are you gonna like? The deal would look better because I have more leverage.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the artist, though. I don't know. I want to stay independent though.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
think that's
ask you, what would you want to do if someone called you up? If Atlantic Records, like, yo, here's a contract, sign this. Would you do it?
no.
No.
I mean, like I would. It's just like I think every artist is different. I would want creative control. I
Mhm.
would want, you know, I would be smart about it though. Like if they gave me an advance, I would advance. I would advance. I would invest all the money back into the brand, and like I would go on a tour. But like I don't know. I'd probably say no right
Yeah,
now, just because like also with independent, like when you have like an independent, career, you can drop music whenever. And like
that's
to
true.
me, like that isn't that the ultimate power of like a musician? Like imagine you're just like in the studio and you create the greatest thing ever, and your label's like, nah, man, like you waited too long. You're not popping. Like we're not gonna drop this.
Damn.
It's like
Damn.
fucking
That's
crazy.
true. That's true. I feel like for me, it depends on the contract that gets signed. Like, for instance, yeah, you build up a following, you build up this thing, but it also depends on what you want to get out of it. Like, for instance, if you're independent, then you just want to drop daily stuff and everything, build your fan base up. Great, build that fan base up. But also, labels can help out. Maybe bigger offers, maybe bigger tour opportunities that you might
Yeah.
not be able to get. And that I'm like, okay, then if you just want a tour, then go with that side of things.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
always
It's like
depends.
what you want. Like, so like if the flexibility of like dropping music and like the artistry of it is what you really want, then like stay with the independent. But like if you're looking to like, I mean, like it's totally if you want to make a lot of money and like be in the right publications and like be on festivals and like that way, like do with that. Like obviously I want that too, but it's just like what you value more. It's
Yeah.
it's truly choose your own adventure, I would
Oh
say.
yeah. That's the beauty of being like in this world that we live in right now because you have so many options to go through.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Agreed.
yeah. Cool. What's the best piece of advice that you ever gotten for doing music?
Stay in the fucking pocket. I'm joking. Trying to stay on beat, Carter. I'm like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Probably the best advice was from my roommate Davis, who isn't a musician, but
Hmm.
sometimes I feel like you probably feel this as well. Anyone that's like, entrepreneurial or creative or doing something up that's not as linear as like a normal job is like there's highs and there's moments of doubt. And like I was like feeling doubt once, and he was just like, yo, man, like obviously like you're talented, but like those that like survive the longest in the game are usually the ones that win.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, so like just keep going. And like
Nice.
you've gone so far now and you've gotten so far, like just keep going. And like to me, it's like I agree. Like especially like, Kanye West's mom had a quote in the documentary, and she was like, whoever someone who does something as long as you and is as good as you, it's like it's gotta lead to something.
Mm,
And I kinda just, like, live by those, like, kind of things where it's like, I've gotten better every single year. So I just, like, keep going, and, like, each year is getting more and more is reeking of abundance, so it's that. It's, like, just, like, survival and, like, sticking with it. Because like, how many people say that they're gonna drop a song, never do? You know how many people say that after they drop a song, "I'm gonna make an album," they never do? Like, you keep getting to these filters, and if you keep surviving the filter, you'll be there. You'll get there.
well, yeah, you're getting to that point. You're doing it. That's the thing about you, man. You are doing it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Trying.
Well,
Trying every day.
yeah, exactly. I feel like a lot of people like even then they should not bring themselves down. Like if they don't get a goal, then just keep on going. You're fine. You're doing it. That's the main thing, right?
Yeah, dude. I always say, like, no one said it was gonna be fucking easy.
Yeah,
If it was
exactly.
easy, everyone would do it. You know what I mean? Like everyone would do it. It's like it's incredibly hard. Like, but like that's what's fucking like
Mhm.
that's like that's it though. Like that's when you get a little win, you're like, you feel so rewarded because you're like, God damn it, like this is my shit. Like, I did this. And
Yeah.
like not like an arrogance thing, it's like a gratefulness. Like, thank you. Like I can't believe that this is happening now. So
Dude, I cooked
yeah.
that chicken like pure seasoned. Man, I did it,
Really?
man.
You're like, I fucking did that, bro. And now I'm gonna eat it
I
too. I'm
know,
gonna eat
right?
it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
That's why cooking's so great. That's
Damn.
funny.
If you could have your listeners and fans remember one thing about yourself, what would you want them to remember you by?
Um, I think that I'm just like them, and like anyone can make music, and all it
Mhm.
takes is just persistency, a hint of delusion, because in the beginning, no one's really good. So it's about persistence, consistency, and just know that like cream rises to the top.
Cream.
So anyone can do like creativity isn't some like God given talent only, like only destined and like gifted to a few people. I think anyone can do this. So yeah, just cream rises to the top and be persistent, and you can get there. And I'm normal, just like you.
I love that. If you could talk to yourself from a year from now, what would you want to tell them?
A year from now or a year before?
Year from now.
What would I tell them?
Yeah.
Dude, you better fucking made a classic with Better with Time, man. Jesus. You better fucking deliver on this album, bro. This is the album. This is make or break time. That's what I would say. Like you think like cause I think like I'd be like, cause right now I'm like, I think I can make like a classic. So it's like,
Yeah.
you better fucking do it, dude. I hope that future me makes the classic that I want. That's what I would say.
Nice. But what happens if you don't do it? What are you gonna do if you don't do it?
That's like a parallel universe because it's gonna happen. I don't know. You have to ask the other universe.
That's true. I'll come back a year from now and then talk to them and be like, yeah, yo, this is what
I'm
happened.
like, dude, fuck, man, I fucked up. I'm sorry. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, we brought back the guy without hair. You know,
I'm like,
jeez.
yeah, man, just like last year was tough. I got sick a lot. I'm joking.
Yeah, you know, I got bankrupt. You know, it happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like yeah, I kept overcooking. The
yeah. Describe yourself with one word. What would it be?
resilient
Why?
because I think I'm a very optimistic person. I can overcome anything. I don't think anything keeps me down for a long time.
That's good. That's a new
Yeah.
one. I like that.
What about you? What about you?
I hate when people ask me about this because I get the Uno reverse card, then I'm like, I never know. That's the thing. I go through different seasons, so I'm always like, for right now, I would say discern.
Can you
Discern.
expand on that?
Yeah, give me the Uno reverse card of why. I just like I feel like right now it's more or less right now with life. I need to like discern on different possibilities, different things that's coming through life right now, and I gotta realize, hey, this is what life is about right now, and that's why I'm like discerning on, hey, this might happen, this might not happen. Who knows?
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like kind of like you're like kind of just like not like you're just allowing the natural flow of everything, and like you're being almost like flexible and kind of pliable with it.
Yeah, if it works out, if it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And most of the time right now, it's been not working out. So we're like, hey, it's fine. You know, we're here. We're in the moment. You know,
The cream rises to the top.
I'll take note of that.
It's the truth.
Okay. What do you want the people to know about you, Grandview?
Um, Follow me on everything. It's at Team Grandview. And the reason why it's Team Grandview is because I call all my fans and supporters and people on my Team Grandview, because we are a team. If like let's say you're rooting for the Lakers, and the Lakers win, you feel like you've won. I want people to feel that same emotion with me. So follow me at Team Grandview on all socials. TikTok is where I post the most. Instagram is kind of more BTS lifestyle stuff. Please follow me at Spotify at Grandview and listen to my mixtape. Time is on our side. And the first single for Better with Time will be dropping in May. I feel like I always say that and then it gets pushed back, but May, I'm gonna say. And yeah, man, thank you so much for having me on
Dude,
here. I love conversations like this, and just shout out to people that care enough about art and creativity to, have dialogues like this. So thank you.
yeah, anytime, man. I really appreciate you having the conversation with me and taking the time out of your day and actually doing this, man. Really appreciate it.
Anytime.